Arduino Project 7 is going to be a musical project. So if you're like me and have any sort of a music background, I think you'll really like this, and I think everybody will like it. So we are going to start off with, the outline of our Arduino, which is just going to take the shape of this remote today. No idea what I did with my other little cards. There we go. Okay, so the Arduino for this project is going to use a surprisingly small number of pins, given that we're going to be making an instrument that can play 4 or more notes. And so, of course, we've got power and ground. And then on the digital side, we're going to be using digital pin 8 as our output to the piezo, which acts as a speaker. And we're going to be using analog 0 as our input for the resistor ladder that is going to form the different notes of our little keyboard instrument. So to get prepared here, we'll do our usual power and ground lines. And I know that I'm going to use the ground for both sides of this circuit, so I'm going to go ahead and set it up so that it's ready for that. Go about yay far out. And then I'm going to set up the piezo first because it's pretty straightforward. The icon for the piezo kind of looks like a little speakery type thing. I mean, it's not any speaker that we ever see in real life, but you can imagine it when you look at it. So it's going to have like this box. There are only 2 pins on the piezo, and the one that we're going to be using for this does not have any specific polarity requirements. There we go. That's supposed to represent the piezo. But obviously, if it did have polarity to it, all you would need to do is make sure that the positive side is towards the breadboard so that it's getting its power from digital 8. So there's no resistor or anything required on here, although you could put one in right here if the sound coming out of the speaker is too loud and obnoxious for you. Okay, so next we're going to have what's called a resistor ladder, and it's a set of push buttons with accompanying resistors, and we're going to be using different kinds of resistors for each level. That's why it's going to be called a ladder, because we're going to step up the amount of resistance, and they're going to be in parallel. So there's going to be this one main wire that you'll see has a resistor at the end that all of the buttons will share. And then it also has the resistor for its particular resistor ladder position. So this is going to be the resistor that all the buttons share. And it's going to be a 10 kilo ohm resistor. Because all we're doing is sending a current through these. We don't want to just send it through without some sort of significant resistance, or you run the risk of burning out your Arduino board, because if there's nothing to resist it, it's like a short circuit, and it just is going to throw current through it too fast. This will be the first of the push buttons. And you guys know that I like my push buttons to look like little hats. I think they look more like buttons than just the stick, but both symbols will work. And then this guy's going to get his own resistor. And for this first one, it's going to be a 1 capital M ohm. And the capital M stands for mega, and that is 1 million. So the resistance on this switch here will have 1 mega ohm plus the 10 kilo ohms at the bottom. Now we're going to set up a ladder, and all of these are going to feed into analog 0. So I'm going to go ahead and set up a structure here so it's easy for me to keep things nice and neat. Notice that I did have those cross. That's because they do actually touch. These two wires do touch each other. So the outermost switch, see if I can get it back to being parallel here. The outermost switch isn't going to have any additional resistance. It's just going to be using that 10 kilo ohm resistor when the current travels this way. All right, so here's a push button with no additional resistance. Okay, and then the rest of these, I kind of messed up the structure. I would have liked to have all the buttons on the same horizontal, but meh, it's not that big of a deal. All right, so I'm going to go, here we go. Oh shoot, I forgot the resistor. Crap. Well, I'm just going to put it in after it. It doesn't matter. As long as it's in the same path, it's in series with the push button. It doesn't matter where you put it. So this is actually going to look a little funkier than I had wanted. But once again, life does go on. These things don't have to be perfect like they match the book. We just want them to be nice and neat so that anybody that is using them isn't confused by just the positioning that you've chosen. So I'm going to put the push button here. Kind of silly there, but hey, whatever. And I'm going to put the push button here. Let's extend that a little bit. So my push buttons are kind of all over the place, but okay. And now for the other two ladder rungs in our resistor ladder. For the first one over here, we're going to do a 220 ohm. And then the next one's going to be a 10 kilo ohm. And then, of course, the 1 mega ohm. And these all have the additional 10 kilo ohms placed in for the A0. For the A0, for the entire ladder. So let's just kind of talk scenario here. If I push down this outermost button, I've now completed a path from power to ground. That's going to go up, over, down through, over this way, and now it's going to go two directions. It's going to go into A0 as an input analog signal, and then down through the 10 kilo ohm resistor to ground. The signal that it sends, since it has no additional resistance on it, it's going to read 1023 on your serial print, on the serial monitor, and that's going to correspond to a note that will then get triggered out of digital 8 and get sent through the speaker as a particular frequency. We'll be working with very specific frequencies. And if I look at the code, I'm looking at line sorry, should have had this ready. There we go. I am looking at line 1, and line 1 sets up the variable notes, and it sets it up so that we have 4 different frequencies, 262 hertz. So this is line 1 in your code. 294 hertz, 330 hertz, and 349 hertz. And these roughly correspond to the piano notes of C, D, E, and F. And you can find a table of frequencies for common notes in the musical scale just by doing a Google if you wanted to change these or add a button or a couple of buttons, so that you can actually play more interesting songs that have more than 3 notes to them. So the reason why you get these frequencies, though, is that when you push the button down, so if, like again, if I were to put down, I'm gonna label these 1, PB1, PB2, PB3, and PB4. If you push down PB1, you're not going to have any additional resistance, and the value that you read from the analog A0 input should be 1023 or thereabouts. And because it reads that, then the Arduino will send out on digital 8 the frequency for note 0, which is the 262 hertz. Remember that in computer language we count 0 as the first occurrence. So 0, 1, 2, 3 are going to be the identities of these 4 notes when they're stored as a variable in the program. The second note is going to come because you're going to get a value. Actually, you know what? I can calculate it real fast, what value we're going to get, because the analog actual, that's red, so that's what's actually going to show up on your serial monitor screen, is just a proportion of the resistors. So the resistor, we'll label this one resistor 1, and then this guy has no extra resistor, so we'll call this one 2, 3, and 4. So this would be, say, the resistor on path 2. So let's look at that path 2. So it's going to be the resistor of 1 over the resistor of 1 plus resistor 2, and that's times 1023, which is the maximum. So it's just scaling it down. So if we had 10,000 divided by 10,000 plus 220, so 10,000 divided by 10,220, all right, you're going to get approximately 1001 as your reading that goes in through A0. Oh, 1001, there we go. All right, and that's going to end up playing note 1, which is 294 hertz, because if you look at the lines 11 and 12 in the code, it says that if the key val, which is what's being read from analog 0, if it is greater than or equal to 990, okay, but less than or equal to 1010, then it says play note 1. That's what lines 11 and 12 break down to. Because the resistor, 220 ohm resistor, adds enough resistance to bring the analog actual input down to about 1,000, it lies in this range. So therefore, it's going to follow the code lines 11 and 12 in the else if, because that's what it's fulfilling this requirement of 1001 is between 990 and 1010. Now the reason why we give it a range is because remember on the resistors there is a band at the end called tolerance band. So you have your 3 colors, or 4 colors if it's one of the blue 5 bands. All right, that last band tells it the tolerance. And basically it's how close the manufacturer is making the resistor to be exactly what it tells you. So if it was 220 plus or minus 5%, right, then it would be 220 either from 220 plus 5%. Let's see, 1% would be 2.2, so 5% would be 11, so it could go up to 231, or it could go down to 209. So because of the manufacturers, they expect that the range of the resistance is not going to be perfect on 220. So that means that the math here is not going to have a perfect 220 on the bottom. So that's why we give it a nice range, so that we don't end up with choppy notes. If you have choppy notes, you're going to have to look at your serial output in the serial monitor and see what A actual is actually printing, and then adjust your ranges accordingly. Obviously, we're here to help you if you need it. This one can be a little tricky, but at least this gives you a bit of the background on it, and I'll be super impressed if you can add, say, a 5th or 6th button onto this design, or if you could even add a whole nother ladder onto analog 1 with a second piezo being played. That would be super cool. All right, that's it. And I know this one was a little rough in terms of my presentation, so thank you for your patience and understanding.